Well, the Apple event for September 2020, probably the worst year in America on record, has come and went, and I've been completely let down, which I guess is probably the reason why the logo for this Apple event resembles a person who's cowering in depression, probably contemplating their own suicide. It's just that they look so just mentally unhealthy and just so sad that it looks like they're just ready to do the unthinkable. But why should you be so sad? You just pulled off an Apple stock split alongside Tesla, and I would think that anybody who's really sad should be probably all those people who rushed into your stock splits and poured in all that money only to watch the market like tank right after all of the short sellers decide to pull all their money out. So, bottom line is this. I have an iPhone, what is this? 10X, 10S Max, 512 gigabyte, and I was waiting patiently for the last 2 years for the iPhone 12 because all I wanted was 1 terabyte worth of storage, and I was expecting that that's what I was going to get the notification of today. Today came and went, and not a single word about iPhone at all. Now, there's new information about new iPads and Apple Watches, but that's not really what I was waiting for. Instead, what you did was you spent a really, really long time talking about the Apple Watch and how many people managed to survive thanks to their Apple Watch and all this stuff that I really just didn't care about. I do plan on probably getting an Apple Watch 6, considering it's new and redesigned and everything. I could have gotten an Apple Watch 5 since they basically went on deep slash discounts, since you guys were trying to get people to contribute to your $2 trillion fund and whatnot. But, the sleep timer to me makes no sense and it's irrelevant because I typically don't sleep with my Apple Watch on. I don't like the feeling of having a watch on while I sleep. And when I take my watch off, I'm typically putting it on charge. So your sleep timer doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, if I'm on an international flight or whatnot, that's about the only time I can imagine that I'd be sleeping with this thing on. I don't usually sleep in my car. I don't usually sleep at work. So, the sleep timer is just absolutely irrelevant to me. All of those fake leakers all over YouTube who make fake videos about fake leaks, about fake gossip Apple products, like supposedly the glasses that you were supposed to have been releasing with augmented reality. Well, I guess after today, pretty much all of that has died down because now we see that that's, pretty much it wasn't mentioned. I doubt that they're going to be really making that anytime soon. And that's just that. So basically all of this fake guru, fake Apple leak news, it's like I don't usually believe in any of it anyway. I mean, there are sometimes you think that there's people who are working in Apple sweatshops over in China who every now and then will sneak a couple of photos out of there in between jumping off the building into their suicide nets. But all I was looking for was the 1 terabyte iPhone. I didn't get it. They didn't say anything about any glasses. They didn't say anything about any other things that the leakers have claimed. For instance, they've been saying for a long time Apple was building a car. We found out that wasn't true. So, I mean, basically I just feel like my time was like seriously wasted. After the Apple Watch, they spent another long, long, boring time talking about the Apple iPad. I personally haven't bought an iPad for myself because once iPhone 6 Plus came out, I never actually felt that I needed an iPad. I felt it was redundant. All I really wanted was iOS on a big screen. And it turned out that iPhone 6 Plus was so large and it was so practical where I could just put it right in my pocket. It had a great camera on it, and back then it was only like 1080p. And it was only 30 frames per second, but it was still 1080p. And I thought that was absolutely perfect. And I had been using that. I'd been making travel vlogs for my YouTube, and everything was just going great. Right now with my 10s Max, I have a 4K camera and 512 gigabytes of storage, and I always wanted to keep buying the largest iPhone that was made so that this way it was easy to store multiple hours of 4K video. As the industry is moving towards 8K video, most people don't have any of the equipment necessary to use 8K. They don't have 8K computer monitors. They don't have 8K televisions at home. They don't have anything that runs 8K. So I figured if Apple would at least give me 1 terabyte worth of storage, I'd be able to store up to about 10 hours worth of 4K 60 frame per second video, which means that when I go overseas, it would be really easy to make my travel vlogs. Alas, I've been let down, and the Apple event is over. This video I'm making is about, 2 o'clock in the day. And, I guess I'm just going to keep holding on to this phone up until the iPhone 12 with 1 terabyte comes out. And if Apple makes the mistake of releasing that phone without 1 terabyte of storage, I'm going to skip that phone, and I'll just wait and keep waiting until the 1 terabyte phone comes out, because I don't need another 512 gigabyte phone, because I just need the storage space. It's not about iCloud. I need the storage space locally so that it's easy to edit videos on the phone before I post them to my social media. So there's claims that they're holding information about iPhone 12 until October. So that means I got to wait more weeks up until October to find out whether or not there's actually going to be an iPhone 12 release this year, which means that 1 or 2 weeks after the announcement, that's when it'll actually go on sale. So there's at least one site they're talking about that there's going to be ridiculously expensive versions of iPhone 12 that obviously very few people, with the exception of probably YouTube influencers and Russian oligarchs, are going to end up buying. But yeah, that's about it. So I don't know how you felt about the Apple event, so you can let me know in the comments. Personally, I'm really disappointed. Now, granted, Apple Watch 6 is something that I did consider buying, but I'm not really interested in the iPad, and all I really wanted was a new iPhone. So that's just how I feel.